Alexis. Very Well is the name of the piece. First of all, welcome back to Soundcheck.
Thanks for having us back.
Very Well is the title, but there's a subtitle, Fandango.
That's right.
And it seems like most of the parts of this nonet, this 9-movement piece, have subtitles that refer to these different flamenco forms.
Correct.
So what are you doing here? Are you mixing a sort of new kind of improvisation into these old flamenco forms?
Well, it's actually very simple in a way. What I've done is I've done a study and research basically on this, and I've kind of extracted the basic elements of each song, and then as raw material I've composed pieces based on those elements, whether they were harmonic, melodic, rhythmic, emotional, whatever it is,
So from flamenco music, you've taken the form, and then from your own head, you've taken the new content.
Right.
Okay. And everyone has sheet music, so people are reading something. How much of this is actually composed, and how much of this genuinely is sort of in the moment?
Well, I mean, it's fairly composed in the sense that it's a large jazz ensemble with a little bit of the ethnic element of the percussion and so on, but like any larger ensemble in jazz, it's pretty arranged. I mean, although we definitely opened it up and there's a lot of improvisation. My goal is always to balance between writing and improvising as much as possible. So
well, you've chosen to write a nonet, a 9-part piece for 9 players. Any significance to the
No,
number
not
9?
really. Not really. To tell you the truth, it just kind of it was just by chance, and it sounds good too, I think. So I got just excited about the 9 figure, but no mystical chemistry.
Okay, there's no numerology at work here or anything like that. Having grown up in Spain, is flamenco music something that has been a part of your musical life before coming here to the States?
Actually, not really, and that maybe is the interesting part of this project. That I grew up in Barcelona, in the northeast of Spain. I'm a Catalan, so we definitely have flamenco around, but in my environment there wasn't. And as I grew up, I became more aware of it. In my early 20s, I played in a gypsy wedding band. And I used to go to a 24-hour gig. That's what it was. You go to the gig, and it's 24 hours. You're hired for 24 hours.
And you genuinely play for 24 hours?
And you are in the wedding for 24 hours.
Wow.
So and I did that for like a year or so with a band of gypsies, with the permission of Jimi Hendrix, of course. and it was a terrific experience. And I mean, even though they live in Barcelona, and there's a lot of Catalan gypsies, I did not feel like I was any close with them culturally. That was one part. Then as I grew up, I started playing more with Perico Sambeat and Marc Miralta, who are actually here with me today. And
sax player and percussionist, respectively.
Right. They started basically showing me how this works.
So then what was the reason for, this particular mix of flamenco form and jazz composition for this nonet?
Sure. I mean, on one hand, being in New York for 10 years now, and I think that's happened to pretty much every Spanish musician has come to New York. There's a moment where you have like this sort of like almost revelation that flamenco is really amazing. Okay, this is.
And you have to come here to have that revelation.
I think that's what really happens, and that happened to me like around 5 years ago. Like I was like, I had that moment, Then from then on, I started really studying it and really getting to it, buying records, transcribing, so on and so forth. And I'm just trying to get it in my system. And now, obviously, other people like Mark Perico or Chano Dominguez, they've done a lot of flamenco jazz already. So I'm not doing that.
You're not reinventing the wheel.
I try not. I just try to be honest and then write what I hear within these forms.
Okay, Alexis, you've mentioned Marc and Perico a couple of times, so let me introduce the rest of the band. Loren Stillman also playing sax, Avishai Cohen on trumpet, Alan Ferber trombone, Brad Shepik playing the guitar, Dan Tepfer on the keyboards, and Marc Ferber playing the drums. So it's 9 people altogether with you playing the bass. This next piece is a Seguiriya.
That's right, Seguiriya.
Called Sigo?
Sigo.
Let's once again hear a live performance. This is from the larger piece called Noneto Ibérico. The world premiere of the full work is at the Jazz Gallery this weekend, Friday and Saturday nights, 9 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. But here's the first performance of Sigo by Alexis Cuadrado. Once again, music from Alexis Cuadrado, the bassist and composer, leading his 9-piece band in some world premiere performances of excerpts from his Noneto Ibérico, the